Welcome to Crown and Connections with Rob Clemons. We are at the Myrtle Beach Home Show, and right now I'm going to take a little bit of time. We're going to talk about the American dream, being able to start a business in America, some of the opportunities we have. I've got a real life success story with me here, so I'm really excited to have him on. And if you're out there, you're a person that's ever thought about getting into business, maybe you're working for somebody right now, maybe you got a business and you're just thinking about getting into another opportunity, the time is right. It's always now. You got to look at what your goals are, where you want to be in 10 years. And so we start off with somebody today that I met a couple weeks ago, and he shared with me some of his philosophies in life about positivity, about personal growth, and about true appreciation for opportunity. And I just thought that was amazing. I really wanted to have him on. So it's my pleasure to welcome Jan Dobr to our show. So Jan, welcome, bud.
Well, welcome to the show. I'm very excited and proud to be here.
That's awesome. It's amazing to have you. And we're going to talk about some things today. I know you got your Live It that you talk about. I really want to go into that with you. But if you would, just for the people who are listening, could you give us a little bit of an idea of, a little 60-second overview about you and how you got to where you are?
Well, I was born in Czechoslovakia in 1975, and I graduated Hotel and Restaurant Management School in 1993 in Czech Republic after the communism was over, and I was looking for a job after school, and I was working in Switzerland with my uncle, and but I couldn't get a working permit. So my aunt said, why don't you go to the United States? Your other uncle has a restaurant in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and you have the degree. So after about 2 seconds, I'm like, what? And in 1994, I came to the United States, and I have never seen my uncle before.
Wow.
Because he left in 1968 from Czechoslovakia, and back then you couldn't go really back and forth because of the communism. And so I came in here, and it was like a dream come true. Mm-hmm. I flew in. It was April 15, the blue sky, the palm trees, the resorts, the ocean. I felt like I'm in Beverly Hills, East Coast.
right.
And I stayed here for 6 months. I worked with my uncle and in the restaurant, and it was great. It was like I was 19. It was party, work, party, work. You
Sounds pretty good.
You think, like, this is the life.
Yeah.
And I left after 6 months, and I did want to come right back. And I could not come back for 4 years because I did overextended my stay. Because every country, not just the United States, have certain rules about entering, coming in, and leaving. So because I overextended the stay, I had to stay away for 4 years. So when I came back in 1998, when I was allowed to re-enter, I decided I wanted to stay. So I applied for a student visa. After that, I got married. And on September 17, 2009, I became citizen of the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. And that was my really breaking point of really creating the life I really live now, which is the true American dream.
Wow, that's amazing. And they can't see you right now, anybody who's listening, but he's got the kind of an American flag shirt on. He's got the stripes on one side, the stars on the other side. Of course, to go along with his beachfront kitchen and bar, of course, your restaurant at Myrtle Beach. And then to the backside, he's got his Live It mindset, which, we've got to share this with the people today. So we're going to dive into that in a minute. But I got to tell you, I appreciate this, that you've taken this opportunity like you have. And, from our first talk where we got to know each other, you told me what has been an amazing success story. I mean, the kitchen and restaurant, bar and grill, whatnot, it's going crazy, right? You're having a great year.
Yeah, we opened on February 29, 2020. We got our liquor license on March 17, and we started closing everything on March 18. So it was a really interesting year.
Yeah.
I tell people I don't know anything else. What thought was a huge success, regardless of the circumstances. And 2021 brought definitely, we did more than double the business, and it was really awesome to see the experience, the business grow, from double in 1 year.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, we would all love to double our business in 1 year, and I think what do you think was the key behind that? Was it something that you did from a management perspective, or was this something that building the proper staff? What did this?
Well, we opened during the COVID year, so it was just during COVID, there's a lot of people that were go more like closing businesses than keeping it open or growing, and we just had a first season, so I don't want to say it was easy success,
Right.
but it was, because of the COVID, it was really successful. It was really easy to double the business.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I know that myself, I'm just wondering, like, so you've been in this industry for a while. What are you the best at cooking? Is there any one thing that Jan is going to say, like, look, I'll put mine up against anybody out there? It could be pancakes or anything. I don't, whatever you got.
Nothing like to be on the spot, correct?
Right. Yeah, because we're all coming in to have this. Whatever you say,
Yes,
it is.
beautiful. I used to work for my uncle Martin,
Okay.
who used to own Martin's restaurant for 26 years, and we were known to do the best bananas Fosters around the beach,
No way.
which is like a flambe dessert,
Okay. Yep.
and it was like very signature dish, for dessert. A lot of people still remember it, and actually we started making it also in our restaurant now because people really ask for it.
Wow, that's great. So people, it's actually the reputation is so good of this. They come in and ask you to put it together for them.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a man who will satisfy his customers. I love that. So another thing that I wanted to talk about today is, and this is interesting. So again, people are gonna have to visualize here on the podcast, but so I've got a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So I brought this with me today because I was trying to get my team inspired this morning. We're talking about body language and it's not just about what you say, it's about your tonality and your body language. And I was using one of the clauses from the book. You brought a book today, a book that we had talked about, The Liberty of Our Language Revealed. And so I love it that you're working through this, but could you tell us a little bit about your reading philosophy? Because you told me something that I think a lot of us could learn from.
Well, after I became a citizen, I received in the restaurant, because on July 4, 2010, it was a Sunday, and there was an article in the newspaper with me on front page about becoming a citizen. It's actually called Citizen at Last.
Nice.
And thanks to that, we received like 80 thank you for becoming a citizen of the greatest country in the world, the United States of America.
Shout out America.
And one of the thank you was from a coach. It says Coach's Corner, Dr. Ed Cerny, and it caught my attention. So I reached out to him, and we met, and he became my mentor. And it was really amazing because he helped me to create a life that I live today, because he helped me to create values and principles that actually were based on really great things, which I did have values and principles before, but during communism, your values and principles were not exactly the right ones. Like during communism, stealing, cheating, and lying is sort of okay.
That's one of the values. Can you cheat really good?
Yes.
all right. Yeah.
So when you live things long enough, they become true.
Yeah.
And he helped me to realize, there are other things in life like honesty, integrity, and live really great values. So I created my own values and principles thanks to him, and I call them provision, which is to give every day is living. And my pro values, that are acronyms of the words live it, they stand for love to live, influence attitudes, mind first, voice myself, exercise mind and body, improve results continuously, and trust and time are on my side. And I was able to create these values because after I became citizen, and my mentor, he helped me to realize that I do have to learn and gain knowledge all the time. And one of the things I started was that I started reading 10 pages of a book every day. And I read self-improvement books or non-fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And was never reading before. When you start reading, the knowledge really accumulates. And I set myself a goal that I will read 10 pages of a book for 10 years, every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And I already finished the goal of reading for 10 years, and now I'm reading 10 more. And it's just really part of the learning, the growing, the knowledge, and use of the knowledge is the key to where I am today.
Yeah, that's very powerful stuff. I know that what you talk about is applying what you're learning. And when you read your books, you read them in the morning time? Is it at nighttime? Any particular time?
I read them really at any time. Lately, I've been reading the book one day ahead.
Okay.
So instead of waiting past midnight and start reading the 10 pages, which I read 16, because you always have to do extra. That's the rule of success. So I try to read them, I read before I go to bed, I read 10 pages, which are for the next day.
Okay.
So that way, that's one of my goals. I do 60 push-ups every day and read 10 pages of a book every day.
Nice.
These are 2 goals I set because goals are the difference between success and everybody else. So when I complete my 2 goals, I know my life is going to be outstanding.
Perfect. Well, it's an amazing thing. And the way that you go about it is really, really powerful. So tell me a little bit. Now, we actually first started talking about the liberty of our language revealed. What chapter are you on so far?
I'm on chapter like 3 or 4, page 51.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, perfect. So you're making some progress. Good book. Thomas Blackwell, he was on our show earlier this year. Very, very good interview. Talked a lot about positivity. That's why I actually originally shared it with you. So if you would, let's take a moment and if you could explain the live it a little bit more firmly. Because when you told this to me, I thought it was something that everybody can apply to their life. I really do believe this. I think that, if you could take a little bit like this, and I'm not saying people need to copy your live it, I don't think you would care because I think you really believe this, but I think at the end of the day, it's like each of these was a good principle. So if you want to start from the top, kind of explain it to me a little bit, how it works.
Sure, I would love to. And I would love for people to use it because it's all about doing things together. And what I'm about to share, it's none of my knowledge. Is knowledge been around for a very long time, and the science of success and the growing and learning and using the knowledge has been here for a long time. So I just try to take what I learned from other people and put it in my own way of living it, because we all have to make our own way of success. So love to live, love yourself, and love everything you do in life. Because when you love yourself, you are able to share your love with all the people around you, your family and your friends. Now love every moment of your life. Whatever you do in life, just love it. When you brush your teeth, love it. When you do laundry, love it. When you wash dishes, love it. When you play and have fun, love it. When you work, love it. This provalue reminds me saying, how you do anything is how you do everything.
So with the love it, let me ask you this. Does the love it extend to things that you would consider to be challenges too? I mean, is it like you get hit by another car? Love it. Or I mean, I'm not joking a little bit. I'm trying to figure out how far you can take the love it thing.
I mean, you just think about it. You live every day.
Yeah.
And you just have, when you love everything you do, your life has just become beautiful.
I got you.
Because of the reading, like today I was reading about that I was reading, my one of the readings I read, and it says, life is about love.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, so I'm on the right to the point. Because we'll have to do the best we can, the best we know, and the best we are able to.
Absolutely. So I get it. I think it's more of an underlying thing. You got to love life. You got to appreciate the ups and the downs that sometimes life will bring you. When you have a down, you have an opportunity for improvement, and so that in itself can be a good thing. So you got to love everything. All right, I'll buy it. I'm buying in. That's what I'm doing. All right, cool. What's the next one?
Now, next one is influence attitudes, mind first. So we all heard it many times that attitude is everything, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So the question is, what is the right attitude?
Now that's a great question, because the right attitude, is this something that is subjective? Is this going to be a different right attitude for Danielle than myself than yourself, or is there a singular right attitude?
Yeah, it's positive attitude.
Positive attitude. All right, I love it. I can buy that.
You see, when you start learning and growing, you have to start asking questions. Why? The thing is, it's not everybody knows that you should have positive attitude. The question is how to have positive attitude.
Yeah.
So, throughout the reading and knowledge of other people, I come up with my own way, because you can have real positive life without excuses, including positive attitude. When you start using yes instead of no, and instead of but, and when instead of if, and you have real positive life without excuses.
Okay. So share, give us some examples, because I think it'll help people to understand. Like, let's use some.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you say them in positive way. Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm so nervous right now. Go ahead. Don't scold me. All right.
I don't like to work.
I like to work.
I don't like to study.
I like to study.
I don't like to wash dishes.
Oh, I love washing dishes.
You see, how
All right.
simple is that?
I'm a positive guy now. I made it. All right, cool.
Just think about it. When you have positive mind, positive attitude, everything's positive, including your bank account.
Well, now that's powerful, but you know what? I just got nervous about something. So the next time I'm like, it's nighttime, and my wife happens to listen to this podcast. She's like, "You said you love washing dishes, Rob." You just got me, man. All right. I'll get with her later on that. But anyway, no, but that's beautiful. Positive bank account. I like that. And realistically, I do think you're right. That's one of the things that we liked about this book here. It's that, the positive mindset of, I think you use the words will too. You say, I will run a successful business. I will, as opposed to saying, I'll try, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what leads to the third pro value, which is voice myself.
Okay.
Because human mind is the most powerful tool in the universe. Look around us what a human mind created. His microphone, his can, his table, his phone, his pen, everything has been created by a human mind.
Mm-hmm.
So your mind is using your voice to express itself. So the words you choose to use have tremendous influence on your life. This is why I like to choose words that bring joy in life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you meet me, when you see me, you say, hey, how are you? And I said, I'm doing outstanding. And they put a smile on your face. And this is the book what I'm just reading about, which I recommend it all about. We become what we think about. The words we use make our life. And that's why I love this book.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, because I do want to say, before we go on to your next things, so we talked about some of those principles at my manager meetings. I had all my managers, and we got us into a room, and we talked about positive words and the positive energy that you put out, and you listen to the way people say things in the morning. And this is all Thomas Blackwell. This isn't Rob Clemons. I'm just using what he said in his book. And he said, you listen to the way people say good morning. And it's like, good morning, Jan, how are you? And,
Outstanding.
And he's outstanding. I'm doing terrific. How are you? And a lot of people, they say these words, these are low energy kind of responses like, I'm doing, or I'm getting by, and you listen to what they're putting into the world. So there's two negatives there. On the one negative is, this is what's coming out of your body, it's coming out of your mouth, but this what is in your head. And number two is that you're putting that out to the next person. So we have been really practicing at the office, and we actually kind of have a little game about it. One of my people that works up here, Stephanie, in the morning is, good morning, Stephanie, how are you? I'm terrific, Rob. And I'm like, how are you, Rob? And I'm like, I'm doing delightful. But, it's funny, but we're smiling and we're having a better day. So it's always good.
Oh, that's great because I do this with one of the employees in Food Line when I go to often. We start talking about it, and I always say, "How are you?" And she used to say, "I'm good," and now she said, "I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing beautiful." So it works. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's good. Just spread a little positivity, okay, to get back. So, all right, cool. So what's next?
Next one is exercise mind and body. So when you exercise your body on a regular basis, you feel confident, you feel great about yourself, and you love yourself. It all goes in a circle. And now we are all experts in our personal life, correct?
Yes, correct.
And we are all experts in our professional life.
That's correct.
And in order to stay experts, we have to exercise our mind. We have to continuously learn. When you look, I like to talk about money because it's important in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not everything in life. So, the truly rich people in life, they learn, think, and talk about money more than 30 hours a month.
Mm.
And the poor people do it less than 5 hours a month. So since I'm rich, I'll talk, think, and learn about money more than 30 hours a month.
So let's repeat that for emphasis, okay? So you're saying the richest people, they think, talk,
And
learn about money
more than 30 hours a
30
month.
hours a month, okay? And then the poorest people, it's been shown statistically, less than 5 hours a month.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have to exercise the mind to be where you want to be with your money.
Okay. Gotcha. Would you say, as far as when you get into the neural pathways and things, how much of this gets into just the way our brains work? Because realistically, sometimes people hear this stuff and they start thinking like, oh, this is sounding like a spiritual thing. And whether it's spiritual to you or not, it's kind of how our brains work. And one of the things we talked about last time that we were together, it's like that thing, and we talked about it being the reticular activating system of the brain. It's you recognize the things that you pay attention to. And it sounds like really obvious, but it's like you're thinking about buying a new car. You see the F-150. I'm thinking about buying a Ford F-150. All of a sudden, you drive around and you start seeing F-150s all over the place. Or you're driving down the road. We've all been down this, and it's like, when did that building pop up over there? It's been there for like 30 years. It's like, so this is the way our brains work. We only have so much attention we can give. So when you put your attention to the right things, if you put your attention to, if it's money or to being a better family member or whatever you put your mind to, you really can change your destiny. And that's kind of what I think you're getting at here.
Yes. Because at a certain point of time, every human being, every person has the 100% of responsibility of their own life.
Right.
When you're growing up and you're little, you may say, well, my parents, my neighborhood, my this. But at a certain point, you have 100% responsibility. You have to accept the responsibility, and then you can be anything you want it to be. Because especially nowadays, with the use of the phone, you can learn such a tremendous, you can influence your mind with information at the tip of your finger at any point of the time.
Absolutely. So you can really control a lot of what's going into your mind now more than ever before. Hey, just a quick side note, were your parents hard on you or were they easy on you?
Well, my mother died when I was 13 years old. So to be honest, I hardly remember her.
Yeah.
And my father, he passed away recently, about 3 years ago. And he was, if I say it correctly, he wasn't around much, but he was a great dad.
Okay.
And I think he really taught us independence and to think for ourselves and to think for tomorrow and think about yesterday. But yesterday won't help you much. What happened yesterday and last week, it doesn't really help you what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a great life lesson. And I feel like this, we have this, I don't know if you're much of a sports guy, but, it's like we talk about this at work sometimes, me and my managers, you could lead the NFL in receiving last year, put up 1,500 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns. That's all well and good. But if you're in week 8 of this season and you caught 2 passes, what you did last year doesn't matter anymore, buddy. You know what I mean? So I dig that. Good advice from your dad for sure. So well, very cool. So exercise your mind and body. I like that, and that goes back in with your 60 push-ups a day, right?
Yes.
So what do you know? What you bench press right now? Or is that?
I usually just do the push-ups. I do actually 119 right now because
Really?
you always have to do extra.
Man, I love that.
I don't do them at the same time.
You know, I was kind of noticing those biceps were looking kind of good when you came in here today. So I see what you're doing. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, so your next one.
Next one is improve results continuously. And this value is about realization of a lifetime commitment. When I started to read those 10 pages of a book every day, I can really remember the moment when I realized, you know, this is for the rest of my life. These values that I live, they are for the rest of my life. So my life's gonna be great for the rest of my life. All I have to do is, continuously read and continuously improve. Because whatever situation you find yourself in, when you're up or down, when you win or lose, or when you fail, you can always improve. And Japanese, they have a word for continuous improvement. It's called kaizen, which is all about improving 0.1% every day, which has a tremendous impact on your life over the long period of time, of a lifetime. And this value reminds me of a book called Four Agreements. I think you read it now.
I have not seen that one.
It's called Four Agreements from Don Miguel Ruiz. And one of the agreements is do not take anything personally, because only you know yourself 100%. So what other people think about you, what other people say about you, has nothing to do with you.
Good point.
You know that you have to do the best you can, the best you know, and the best you are able to yourself.
Love that. That's amazing stuff. And the continuous improvement that comes to my mind is, and again, I like to talk about Jordan Peterson. Sometimes I was reading one of his books, and he talked about one of the mistakes that people tend to make is that you compare yourself to other people who had different upbringings, different experiences, different opportunities. And quite frankly, everything might not be going perfect for them. You look at it from the outside and you say, "Oh, I want to be that person. I want to be that famous movie star. I want to be that." But then you compare yourself to somebody that you'll never actually be able to compare to, no matter what, because that's a different experience. And he said, so try to be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday is a much better goal, right? So love what you're saying there, and the continuous improvement. That's always a biggie. All right, so we got one more biggie, right?
Yes.
And this is actually one of the ones that really stood out to me. So I'm gonna comment on this one after you say it.
All right. So trust and time are on my side. This is my favorite value.
Okay.
Trust is essential key to every relationship, and the relationships are your life. Time is equal for everyone, and like Dalai Lama says, we all are the same, and there is 7 billion of us.
Yeah, right.
So time is equal for everyone, and time goes always the same speed. Time is on my side because I'm sharing with you these values. These values together, they all create synergy, and they are part of the Live It team. And they help me to stay and focus on the narrow path to my ultimate goal in life, which is joy, happiness, and purpose in all aspects of my life: emotional, mental, physical, financial, social, and spiritual.
That's awesome, and I gotta tell you, I mean, there's such sincerity in you when you say this, and I hope that people get to know you a little bit, because you really do believe this stuff that you talk about, and I think it's a powerful thing. And I know that I've met other people in your BNI group, and they have high thoughts of you and the way you go about it, especially Danielle over here. So that's she's very cool about that. And the thing that I took away that I've actually used this since I talked to you about it the first time. And it's that you talked about that time is on your side. I said, what do you mean? And you said, well, time's on my side because it's the same for everyone. And I think that's a really, really amazing point, because, you can sit out there and go, well, I wasn't born into money. I wasn't born into opportunity. Nobody really recognized me. I had bad friends. But time is on your side, meaning that, you always have 24 hours a day, just like everybody else. So what are you going to do with it? And if you want to sit here and try to look at the things you don't have, Well, the thing you always have is time, and you can always turn it around. So I thought that was an extremely powerful thing, and we can all learn from that. So with that being said, let me ask you this: how do you get your mind right? And I'm going to ask you this because look, these are great things that you say. I believe that it's all going good, but there's got to be that time where you're having a day. I'm just going to say a day, not even a bad day. I'm just going to say you're having a day, and it gets a little hard. What may feel to some perceive as hard. How do you get yourself to that mindset where you feel like, to get back on track with your live it theory?
Sure. Well, a couple things. Since the difference between success and everything else are goals, I know that when I complete my goals, regardless what happens besides that during the day, I know when I complete my goals every day, my life's going to be great. Okay. Now, when you talk about, we all have, life is all about ups and downs, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So at any point when I feel like, all right, what's coming up after you are down, what's coming up, what's going to happen next?
You got to go up.
Exactly. So anytime I feel I'm slightly on a down spiral, I get really excited because I know something great is going to happen, and it always does.
So I do have a recommendation, and I'm going to build right off of that because I'm glad you went. I didn't know what you were going to say, and you said that, and that's a great answer. If you're sitting out there and you're having a rough day, if you have a rough time at work, okay. And I have a tip for somebody who's having a rough time at work, and that is always going to be, remember that you're always auditioning for your next step in life, no matter what you do. So sometimes if you're, I don't really like my job. I don't like this. I don't like that. Everything you do is an audition for what you're going to do tomorrow. So don't make it about the job. Make it about yourself. Do the best you can because your next opportunity will come on based on what you did. But the other thing is set yourself a goal, and I love that side. Because I think that a lot of people that I find are feeling down, a lot of times what's happened is they don't have a goal, not an immediate goal, not a long-term goal. So set yourself a small goal, whatever it happens to be. Look, I want to do 60 push-ups in a row, and I'm using that one as an example. I want to set a goal to get to because now our minds are set to something that's positive, something to grow from, and then you can change yourself as you see yourself getting to that destination. So that's really, really cool. And I didn't mean to interrupt, but you said something I really loved. I want to make sure I comment on it.
That's cool, and I'm glad you said it because that's how it all started. Back in my party days, you cannot change things overnight. It happens over a long period of time. So you have to realize that. So you cannot expect, things happen, just like, the big lottery winners. Big lottery winners, people win $100 million. 8 out of 10 people are broke within 2 years.
Absolutely.
Why? Well, because they don't have the knowledge how to handle the money.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing in life. I didn't expect me to change everything overnight. All I knew is that I have to do my goals, like I said, first steps. So I think life is easy and simple.
Okay.
So I go to the deepest possible possibility to do the simplest possible step you can. So my first step and my first goal was that I don't step on lines.
Okay.
Because regardless what condition I was in back in my party days, I knew that I can always step over the line. So I could always complete my goal every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that goals are different between success and everything else. When you talk about the bad days, it's not about bad days. We have sometimes you think about something a lot. You have all these different employees, you have all different things you do, and then some things you just keep thinking about and going, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Is this gonna be the right decision? What is the right decision? You may think it bothers you to say, is this person right for this? Or, we always have a little chatter in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I use my live it values if I get to the point, I go, okay, love to live, influence attitudes, voice myself, exercise mind and body, improve results continuously, trust and time are on my side. I repeat it, and it distracts me enough to stop thinking about it and to keep thinking about the great things in life. So I use it as like sometimes you think about this person, I wish this person do this or do that. So I go, okay, this person won't help me in my life. Let's just forget about her. Love to live, influence attitudes, and I go through my live it pro values just to repeat it and changing my mindset.
That's amazing. Well, I think those are some good words to live by, some good advice for sure. And definitely, we'll post this out to our website too when we share this podcast, because I think it's definitely some stuff that people could look into and learn from. So, Jan, what's next for you? What's next? I mean, we got the Beachfront Kitchen and Grill, but what else is going on?
Beachfront Kitchen and Bar. I'm about to sign a new 5-year lease, so my goal is set. I set really high goals for this year to increase business by like 45%.
Okay.
And with that, it comes the certain responsibility for me and for all employees, so we can all achieve our goal. Because we have to find a way to do it. So we are trying to use in our words, we're trying to use clear message to share with all the employees and we share our employees. So we increase the sales, we sell the right things, we create the memorable experiences to the thousands of customers that come to visit to Beachfront Kitchen and Bar, because we serve excellent food, we provide great entertainment, which is going to be a lot more this year, and we serve fantastic tropical drinks. So in order for us to reach our goal, we will have to learn and grow so we can reach our goal.
How do you feel about us doing a podcast from your restaurant at some point? We'll try some of these tropical drinks.
Anytime.
Have a little fun. Man, that sounds really good. Well, we'll definitely take you up on that. And as I wrap up the show, I do want to tell you I appreciate you being on here today. And everybody, go out and see Beachfront Kitchen and Bar. He is an amazing guy, Jan Dobr. I appreciate you coming on today. Thank you for being here.
I really appreciate it. I'm really honored, and I'm really happy and privileged to be here on your podcast, since you have such a great people around here that come to your podcast. Thank you very much.
That means a lot to me. Well, everyone, listen and learn. Always like and share us, and we appreciate everybody being on. This is Rob Clemons. I'm signing out with Crown and Connections.